Hello everyone! Good morning! Kumusta? This is not an orchid. This is the first flower of our string beans. Isn't she pretty? Guwapo de kayo ang bulak sa batong. But she is not our subject today because today I will be sharing with you about hairy caterpillars in my orchids, in our plants, and what I did to get rid of them. And of course, I'll show you some pictures and videos because we had an infestation. Excuse me for the picture because this really looks very itchy, and I always saw them in my orchids in the morning, but I don't have lots of pictures of them because I don't always bring my phone with me when I check my orchids in the morning. I don't know if hairy caterpillars have a proper name, but we call them Higad in Tagalog, Til-as in Bisaya, and they really are very itchy. You will surely get rashes or irritation when you touch them or when their hair touches you. And whenever I see them in my orchids before, I just get some stick and I take them out from the orchids, and I'm sorry but I crushed them because I'm afraid that my children, my kids will touch them and cause irritation because their skin are very sensitive. And I'm not sure if they will cause other forms of rashes or asthma. So that's what I did before. I crush them whenever I see one. On May 24, we found lots and lots of small hairy caterpillars in this heliconia plant. All of the leaves, even on this wire. And this was very hot because it was noon, so this is just a short video. There were really lots of them, hundreds of small hairy caterpillars. They were even in the wall and in the other plants that's near the heliconia. So my husband cut all of the plants that have hairy caterpillars, and he placed them in a plastic bag and sealed it. There were really lots of them, and I can't imagine if they have all grown up because these caterpillars were just babies. When they grow up, they will form a cocoon and they will become moths, but we just can't let them grow up because there were too many of them. After my husband took care of them, I thought that they were gone, but I found traces of them again in my orchids. I found one eating this crown of my dendrobium, eating the roots of my orchids. And when they eat and open the roots of the orchids, fungi or bacteria can enter the roots and might cause an orchid to die. They also love to eat vegetables, and I don't want to see them again in my orchids, in our plants, in our house. So I resorted to chemical application. I used this, but if you know some homemade insecticide for hairy caterpillars, I hope that you'll share it with me through the comments. We bought this Malathion at the local agri store for 90 pesos for this bottle, and I used 1 tablespoon for 1 gallon of water. This can also be used with other insects or pests like mealybugs, mosquitoes, flies, ants, and mites. I only used this for one application, and I used hand gloves, I wore face mask, and I haven't seen them lately. I haven't seen hairy caterpillars for a while now in our house. I used this only once, and I sprayed it early in the morning because it's very windy in the afternoon. The smell of this is strong, and I also covered our windows with plastic when I applied it, and I did not let my kids go out. Our calamansi has full leaves now. This used to be favorite of caterpillars. No more hairy caterpillars now for a month or months in my orchids, in our plants, and in our house. But I want to learn and use homemade insecticide that's effective for hairy caterpillars and other pests. I found this few days ago, and I'm happy that this was not affected by the treatment that I used. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for watching. Maraming salamat. Paalam. See you in my next videos.